Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Rockies franchise here on MLB The Show 25. It is June 14th of the 2025 season, and before we do anything, I kind of want to just go over the standings, see where everyone is at the moment. Right now, the Rockies, we are worse in the division, 14 games behind the Dodgers for first place, and I don't expect it to get any close. I expected to get that deficit to increase. In the NL East, you got the Philadelphia Phillies at 45 and 25. The NL Central has the Chicago Cubs 45 and 26. And in our division, the Dodgers are at 41 and 30. Those are your division leaders. As for the wildcard teams, you have the Mets currently with the #1 spot. The Brewers have the 2nd spot, and the Diamondbacks have the 3rd spot. The Giants currently sit half a game back. The Braves are 2 games back. The Padres 2.5. The Nationals 4.5. And the Reds are 5.5. These will be teams that will probably look to buy at the deadline. Next up is the AL. First, with the AL East, you got the Baltimore Orioles with a 41 and 29 record. The Boston Red Sox are just behind them at 41 and 31. In the AL Central, it's the Guardians at 39 and 31. The Tigers are behind them by 2 games. And for the AL West, you have the Houston Astros at 39 and 31. The Red Sox with a 41 and 31 record gives them the first wildcard position. The Tigers have the 2nd at 38 and 34. And then there are the Twins at 37 and 34. The Mariners are right there on the cusp of another postseason appearance. Their 2nd one in 5 years. After the Mariners, it's the Rangers. They are 36 wins, but they have 35 losses. But they are in the mix. So are the Yankees. They'll always be in the mix. And the Tampa Bay Rays hanging around 500 baseball. Playing 500 baseball at the moment. They may be buyers, but they could also just sell come the deadline. They are still trying to retool and rebuild their organization since the Wander Franco fiasco 2 years ago. Next up are the Blue Jays at 32 and 39, and I expect there to be fireworks, missiles, nukes launching into the atmosphere and exploding. Chaos will reign supreme, and it's all because the Blue Jays have failed to launch in this window. Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., I expect them to be moved. George Springer might get moved as well, considering his contract is something they may want to get off the books. After the Blue Jays, though, it just gets worse and worse. The Athletics, they're 32 and 40. They're still in a rebuild. They're now in Sacramento. The Angels, 30 and 39. They're still rebuilding. They may trade Mike Trout. We'll have to wait and see what happens with him. The Royals, 28 and 43. Last year's postseason appearance seems to be a fluke. This year, the AL is a much stronger team. I expect them to be sellers come deadline. The White Sox, well, I don't know what they can actually sell when the deadline gets here, but that is it for the standings in Major League Baseball. As far as our teams, pretty bad. The best team, like I've mentioned before, is the Yargoats at 33 and 28. I'm really not adept when it comes to minor league baseball and how the brackets work. I guess there might be a possibility we can play minor league baseball, postseason baseball, but I'm not sure. We're only a half game behind the Fighting Phils for the Eastern League Northeast Division. So maybe we can win the division if we just play our cards right and continue competing. If we can make the playoffs and go on a deep run and even win a minor league championship, all the players on that team will get a attribute bonus. So there is incentive to push for that team to make the playoffs, not just lose out. As for our AAA team, the Isotopes are 29 and 38. They're not that good. When looking at the lineup, they don't really have much at this level. The best players, I would say, is Zach Veen, who's currently batting around 280. Owen Miller is a underrated. Owen Miller has been playing phenomenal, batting around 259. The other player who's been playing really well at this level is Aaron Schunk, batting 271. Julio Carreras, he's been pretty good so far, batting 297, but it's really just been more so the 3 I mentioned earlier who have been the bigger contributors. Zach Veen will either go, he's a pretty streaky guy at the moment. He will either bat for 750 in a game or completely go hitless for a match. As for the pitching rotation, it's not that good. Almquist has been pretty good at 2.71 ERA, but his whip is 1.31. Meanwhile, Jack O'Loughlin he's been struggling. And to be honest, I'm probably going to need to bump him down to Double A at some point. There is a chance he may not come back for 2026. So he's kind of playing for his job right now. The rest of the starting lineup is a little better, but it's just a lot of flotsam and jetsam, I have to say. One thing I need to do that I forgot to do in the previous episode was provide a player an attribute bonus based on the month of May. Forgot to do that. So I'm going to take care of that right now. And for my selection for the month of May, a bit of a shocker, but I am going to pick Owen Hall. He's currently in Class A. We got him from the Detroit Tigers when we traded for Javier Baez. It was a sort of way to make it as balanced of a trade as possible. The Tigers are taking on an extra $3 million and another year. The Tigers are taking on an extra year, an additional $3 million for Chris Bryant's contract, but we have to take on Javier Baez's contract as a result. And his contract is a year less and $3 million less. But because of that, we gave away 2 prospects, and the Tigers gave us one of their prospects in Double A or lower. Kind of similar to what we did. But Owen Hall is a pretty impressive pitcher. He's been doing a good job so far in the minor leagues Class A. He has 5 different options to pitch with, and he's slowly developing his K per 9, his hit per 9, base on ball per 9, and his home run per 9. Those are going up steadily, but we want to kind of increase that now. So I'm actually going to give him a boost to his K per 9. We'll go up by 1. And there you have it. Now it's up to 55 overall. And hopefully he continues to develop that as the season progresses. As for who I might pick for the month of June, because I'm probably just going to wrap up this month since all the teams are just struggling right now. Not really focused on playing games. Next on the docket that I want to take care of is providing a player the attribute bonus for the month of June. Guy who I'm actually going to give the attribute bonus to, who I wasn't considering at first, will be Michael Toglia. Toglia's having his best season so far in the majors. Up to 261 batting average wise, 18 home runs. He's going to reach his mark from last season at the rate things are going if he can get over 116 games this season. So why not help him out with that? He definitely needs a little contact boost, so to help him out, we will give him a +1 towards his contact versus lefties. We have arrived at the 2025 MLB draft. Let's go ahead and jump in. I like to use the system here to kind of just tag prospects. I mostly just tag the ones that I'm more interested in. So Michael Kim has dropped or has bumped up, but it looks like he's injured. That is not good. And from the looks of it, some of these other prospects don't really fit around this top 5 range, around what I'm looking for. There's Pablo Herman. MLB ranks him 15th. Our scouts rank him 6th. He wouldn't be a huge reach, and from the looks of it though, he would be a project player. But our scouts did not do too much scouting of these two. So they are a huge risk for me to take. I'm definitely just going to consider Dennis Eckert. He is a massive reach, but at the very least, I don't think he'll be around the 60s as far as being drafted. Looks like the lowest he can be is a 73 overall player. Okay, so I feel set for the draft. Went ahead, took care of all the other guys I was considering. We really only scouted pitchers, starting pitchers, catchers, and outfielders. I do feel like we have a lot of weak positions, but I want to try and just tackle certain spots head on first, and then future drafts will be able to take care of entire rosters, all positions in the future, hopefully. So let's go ahead and jump on into this draft. So Seattle, the Angels, and Washington all pick ahead of us. See what happens. Let's get this draft underway. The Nationals, with their first selection, select Barry Combs. Ranked 2nd on both MLB boards and our scouts board. Surprised with this one. Who do the Angels select? They took Jorge Vilpuerte? I really wanted him. I was actually considering him. They may have just picked up their future outfielder for Mike Trout. He might get moved come the deadline. So who are the Mariners taking? Bradley Whitman. Probably the oldest player in the draft at 23 years of age. Potential generational talent right there. Going to Seattle. Well, that doesn't leave it too difficult for me. I was considering Michael Kim, but the injury could be really concerning. Not to mention the bonus demand he'll be looking for is pretty steep. So why not take a flyer on someone else who plays the same position, same age, less injury concerns, less bonus demand, just a slightly less motivation to sign with us. Let's go ahead. I'll take Dennis Eckert with the 4th selection of the draft. A brand new pitcher enters the Rockies organization. Hopefully. With the 5th selection in the draft, the Cardinals select Pablo Germán. We had him ranked 6th on our scouting boards. So not a huge reach, even if the rest of Major League Baseball would disagree. Meanwhile, for us, ours is likely a reach. But I really like what Dennis Eckert brings to the table. So I think he can bring... So I'm pretty okay with this selection. I'm pretty happy with this. Meanwhile, the Pirates select Kevin Simmons, 6th overall. Manny Flores goes to the Marlins. Felipe Garlobo goes to the Toronto Blue Jays. And Michael Kim, who was ranked 3rd in all of baseball's... Michael Kim, who was ranked 3rd in the draft, continues to sink further and further. We are now outside of the top 10, and he has still not been taken off of anyone's board. Taylor Welch, he's been selected by the Athletics. Kind of a reach, but he probably has a very small bonus demand, so it's probably easier for them to get him than a top prospect. Nino Hidalgo. Interesting name. He's a massive reach. I thought we were reaching. Ranked 42nd and 39. Felipe Cecedo goes to the Giants. Our division rivals take one of my interested players. Oh, this is bad. Okay, it's not that much of a big deal. I'll stop. Ken Osborne goes to the Twins. He was ranked 8th on our scout board. And Todd is this Saccone? I think it's Saccone. Goes to the Cubs. Bobby Jordan goes to the Diamondbacks. Another huge reach. Our scouts didn't even have him in the top 30 on their boards, yet they took him 18th. What a reach by our division foes. Patrick Kling goes to the Orioles. Somewhat of a reach. He was ranked 21st on our boards, but he is injured. That might be the reason. Michael Kim continues to sink in the draft. He was projected to be the 3rd selection in this draft, and he's not the only one. Nixon Stobe is still on the board. I just noticed that. We did not scout him a lot, so I am curious to see who's going to pick him up along with Michael Kim. Let's see if it's going to be the Royals. And no, it's not. It's Jay Connor. Another reach. What is going on? Why is everyone reaching right now? Is everyone afraid in terms of like actually picking up guys? Maybe their bonus demands are so high that nobody wants to touch them. I know that Kim's is pretty high for a guy who's injured at the moment. Again, another guy who wasn't projected to go in the first round has been taken 25th by the Padres. Well, the Phillies reach. Not this time. He was ranked 26th by our scouts, so they take him exactly right there with the 26th pick. What about the Cleveland Indians? I don't know why I said that. Sorry about that. The Guardians reach, though. Cleveland reaches, taking Chris Yu, another second round projection. Fred Gregg, another projected second rounder by MLB, but our scouts had him 19th. Maybe the Mets had him around this range. James Foes. Whoa! I was gonna take him with that draft pick. Why would they take him there? Are you serious? They took Foss with the 29th selection. He wasn't even close to a second round pick. He wasn't supposed to go anywhere near this point, and you took him 29th? Jesus, what a reach. It makes the Dodgers reach look pale in comparison. No, not theirs. Who was it? Who had a pretty bad reach? I guess the Astros. Wow, what a shocker is this draft. What is happening? All the players that I've scouted, most of them are not getting off the board. Hold on. I think I just saw it actually. Stand by. There it is. Michael Kim finally gets taken off the board. Selected by Seattle as well. So Seattle walks away with the third ranked prospect in all of baseball's draft. So Seattle gets the third best player in the draft, or the third ranked player in the draft, and they take the fourth ranked player in this year's draft. Pretty interesting from them. They're taking a lot of pitchers to start. And Nixon Stobe finally goes off the board. Finally selected with the 37th pick. Who should have gone first overall has been taken with the 37th overall selection. That is insane. Now it's the second round where the White Sox get to select first because they finished with 46 wins, 42 wins or whatever. Not a reach. Okay. So we kind of get... Oh my lord. Does this mean I get to just pick whoever I freaking wanted? I kind of get my choice of whoever I want here now. That's crazy. Do I take another pitcher though? Fuentes is ranked 31st by our scouts, and MLB scouts rank him 43rd. He might be worth taking right now. Claudio Blanco would be a really bad decision, even if MLB ranks him 18th. Same with Bobby Kent. Yeah, looking through the board, I'm not really seeing... I definitely spent my time scouting in the back end of this draft, trying to find diamonds in the rough, which means we really don't have to... I guess I can take another pitcher here, because it seems from the looks of it, all the outfielders that I've been scouting, they aren't going until the 50s. But that's the thing. That's kind of the concern. I don't have a selection in the 50s. If I take another pitcher now, I might not get a chance to scout or get one of these other guys. But the one I would want is Ramon de Villar, but he's not projected to go until the 68th selection. So with that in mind, I think the decision is clear. Let's continue to build up our pitching staff. With the 41st selection in this year's draft, we will take Jose Fuentes. And there you have it. Another 18-year-old is taken off the board. He has a pretty decent bonus to man. Not too shabby. Not bad. I've seen a lot worse. And he's somewhat motivated to sign with us. 63%. So that's right there. Our potentially two future pitchers for our staff. Claudio Blanco has been taken by the Marlins. Just when I was considering taking an outfielder. There is a chance that I think Ramon de Villar will be selected before we have a chance to pick him. That I am really scared about that. We have to pray that we can get to the compensatory balance pick. and he's still on the board. That's my hope at this moment. But from the looks of it, this is a very deep class for pitchers. So why not just take pitchers where they come? I would prefer a more balanced draft where I'm picking at least 3 pitchers and 3 positional players. But most of these players, the best ones, are pitchers. It's a very deep class for pitchers. Kurt Casey would have been a good option to pick up. Michael Toglia is 26, and I don't have any really any future at first base after Toglia is gone. So he would have been worth taking. And just as I say that, Kurt Casey has been selected by the Rangers. Carl Henderson selected by Tampa Bay. They're trying to rebuild their farm system after missing last year's postseason. Let's see, Rob Fishman finally gets taken off the board. Goes to the Twins. Getting down to the wire. Please don't take him. Please don't. The Cubs take E.J. Hinton. Never got a chance to really scout him. Peter Rangel goes to the Seattle Mariners. Are they mostly just taking 18-year-olds as well? They're kind of doing something similar to us, like outside of Bradley Whitman. Actually, never mind. I was gonna say, are they just taking 18-year-old, 19-year-olds so they can just build their farm system with younger guys? That would be kind of funny how they're copying us. We are reaching the end of the second round. Still have a long ways to go. 6 picks left here, and then another 5 afterwards in the next round. Miguel Lugo. Wow, what a reach by the Braves. I mean, he's 18, so there is time for him to develop, but Jesus, that's a reach. I didn't think that was possible. Nah, I'm joking, obviously. And I see the Yankees don't have a selection here. They must have lost their second round pick from for the compensatory reasons. Probably took someone in free agency. The Dodgers have a second rounder though. Find that interesting. It's getting closer. Elton Green has been selected by the Phillies. And Bruce Arrington goes to the Dodgers. I was considering Kenji Suzuki, but he goes to the Guardians. What a shame. Another player I scouted, Jim Collado. I was thinking of getting him at one point. I'm just not sure because of his potential being as low as it is. The Diamondbacks take a closing pitcher, Alvaro Medrano. Interesting selection. Pretty much a reach, I have to say. Adam Rios, a guy who was in the 40s, ranking wise, goes to the Royals at 66 overall, so they got good compensation for that. Johannes Fredrickson, no, I was really gonna pick him up at some point. Maybe I didn't have a choice, but look at that. We did it. Everything has lucked into this. There's a chance we have our future left field, Ramon de Villar. His potential being 78 as its lowest, not good, but it's better than being in the 60s. And that is always okay for me. Especially because Fuentes could backfire drastically since he's a 68. Eckert's 73. There's a chance some of these selections could backfire. But it's the draft, baby. You gotta shoot your shot. So we will take Ramon de Villar. Welcome to the Rocky Mountains, Del Villar. I'm pretty happy so far. I'm getting the players that I wanted. Probably take another positional player here. in the third round. We'll select second in that. And the Boston Red Sox take Edwin Bragg. I was looking to get him somewhere in the 60s to 70s range since our scouts rank him 53, but MLB scouts rank him 92. Disappointing that he has been taken already. And his bonus demand wasn't even that much. Meanwhile, Ramon de Villars is going to be 1.3, Fuentes is 1.9, so hopefully we can sign all three of them. I will probably have to commit to some reaches now, considering the bonus demand. We only have 15 million to allocate to 6 or 7 players, so we do have to be careful from this point forward. Luckily, it seems like a lot of the players that I scouted are still on the board. This is a huge list of guys. I was not expecting to be this deep by now. I usually have that kind of luck, what can I say? Peter Gordon was taken, but his demand is something similar. Now we have our choice, but we only have a minute to select, so we gotta be quick. It would be funny to take another pitcher here, but we probably can hold off on this for the moment, the time. For a guy like Hoyt Campbell, I'd probably just take him with the later rounds if I feel like it. I want to go for catcher. I've had plenty of time now scouting him. But in terms of what I want to pick up, none of these guys are really interested in signing with us. And for Eric Spoon, he's just like the highest. I may not have a choice. So we'll just take. And the game takes quick driver. Okay, that's cool. And scouted, couldn't draft in time. I meant to take a catcher. Damn it. We have another outfielder for no reason. A minute is just not enough time at times, you know? Probably should have made my decision faster. Oh, and the game's glitched. Wonderful. To be honest, that would have been a huge reach to get Manuel Geronimo. We could be able to get him in the 4th round, though. That's the thing. Julian Montana was selected by the Angels, by the way. A smaller bonus demand for him might be easier to get him out the gate. There's also Eric Spoon, so we have our selections for catchers. These are my 3. These are the 3 I'm going for. Oh, never mind. Eric Spoon got taken. As I was just saying. Okay, so instead of that, we'll say Joel DaCosta, Raul Herrera, and Manuel Geronimo. Now, those are my 4 options now. Except DaCosta is a huge gamble. So I'm really hoping this doesn't backfire. Please I just want Manuel Geronimo. That's it. That's all I ask for. Or if I have to, I'll settle for Raul Herrera. Joel DaCosta, he got taken. Are you serious? The Tampa Bay Rays took DaCosta. What a reach. Yeah, we're kind of running out of players that I've been considering. We'll either be really, really lucky here, or shit's gonna suck. A lot of relief pitchers are being selected. I don't mind. And they continue to go off the board. Closer in Jermaine Cameron. Less reaches now. Usually is the case, but once you get past the second round, a lot of these picks now are just, you know, standardized issue. Maurice Redmond was projected to go between 89 to 91 between our scouts and MLB. And he got selected here. Rich Crosby. I was considering him at one point, but I wasn't going to take him as high as 99 or in the 70s to 100 range. I was willing to hold off. I hate the feeling I'm getting inside that I might not get any of the catchers that I want. Please don't let that be the case. We are almost at my You kidding me? Are you kidding me, San Diego? Did you have to take him? Really have to take him? Okay. If we can just get to our pick, please. Just 3 more. Or 4 more. And they took Sandoval. Yankees took Sandoval. Good choice by them, I guess. Fell out of his projected range. And the Phillies took a relief pitcher. So we just need the Dodgers and the White Sox to just. Okay, they didn't take him, but they did take Kaminsky. Although they took him. Unfortunately, I hate the fact. Why? We're right here. I have nothing, bro. I have nothing. I can't have it. So, does it even matter at this point? Really doesn't. I'm not taking an outfielder. Again, we already took enough. I'll just take. Alright, we'll just draft Hoyt Campbell and be done with it. Our luck was so close. We were so close to landing one of these catchers. If Kirk Driver doesn't work out, that is gonna suck. Cause I really did not luck out with that selection. Cause the game simmed it. I was trying to take a catcher around this range. The problem is I didn't know which one I wanted to take. You get a minute to select. I should have just thought of it in advance. And now David Ramirez has been selected, which only leaves Chad Rodriguez left on the board for us. At this point, there's just... yeah, we've reached the point of flotsam and jetsam. I don't want to sim the rest of the draft. I still want to try to find players. I mean, we might not get all 7 selections to sign with us anyways. That's always the possibility that you kind of have to play in this game now. Chance not all of them will come play for you. I might take John Wild. I mean, I am happy with the first round, the second round selections. I'm okay with those, and the third round too. Basically, Del Villar is basically a third round selection. So I'm happy with those, and I'm even happy with, to some extent, with getting Hoyt Campbell. But I really needed a catcher. The ones I was scouting were all taken. To be fair, though, a lot of these catchers. This year's class for catchers was not that impressive. No generational talents, none of the sort. So it was a chance that we could land a hit, but there was a equally high chance of getting a dud at catcher. Which makes me really upset that I couldn't select one. I don't know why the game has to pull that nonsense on me. Bad. And even the 2 third basemen that I was just looking at. all been taken. That is just funny. I'm not even mad at this point. I'm just reserved. I think at this point, I just want to draft guys that are 18 that we can just bring into into our farm system and just leave them in Class A and Double A for the first year and two. Guess I'll go ahead and just sim at this point. Oh wow, look at that. They all been taken. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter at this point, does it? Alright, none of them are there. Cool, awesome. Doesn't even matter at this point. None of the draft kind of fell apart for us in the end, so I guess Anthony Espinoza. Sure, why not? Let's just take a flyer on him. He'll be the oldest player in our draft class for this year. And we'll just sim the rest of the draft. We have an all-star player? Holy shit. Made no sense. Oh my gosh, we did. Poglia made it in. What? That means we wouldn't have been able to use him either way, because he would have been coming off the bench behind Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson. And that's it. Just Poglia. That's it. You know what? I'll take it. Congrats on your first ever all-star, Michael Toglia. And since I said this before, all-star players will receive a attribute bonus. His potential is only 80, which, you know, he's 26, so he's probably stagnated for several seasons, resulting in such a lowered potential rating. Because I think in previous MLB The Shows, it was way higher. So, I get that. But for him, I think it'd be important to work on his plate vision and plate discipline. But his plate discipline is actually 74, so that's not bad. So what I would want him to improve, we are going to improve his contact versus left-handed, and we'll improve his plate vision. So this is the Futures game. I don't know if I have anyone, though, that's playing in it. Holy shit, Charlie Condon. He made it? In single A? That's a thing you can do now? Hey, I'll take it though. And against a lefty? Sure, why not play this game? Come on, Con.
He's safe.
Good throw. Good throwing. Just, probably should just throw it to the second baseman, not the rally guy. Damn it. Not even the changeup. That's just swung too quickly. Wow, that is unimpressive fielding. Jesus. I cannot make any contact right now with these pitches. Come on. There it is. First one with CC12. That'll be a double play.
He's out.
I got subbed out. Wonderful. At least the NL All-Stars won, I guess. That's fine. He got in that one stupid hit and struck out the other 2 times. That is trash. What the fuck is wrong with his name? I guess that was it. Nothing else? Well. Charlie Khan, go ahead. You've earned yourself a little upgrade to your overall. He actually is an 89 potential. I really am tempted to make it a 90, but we can do that some other time. In the meantime, though, let's see here. Not great plate vision. Mediocre plate discipline. He has a lot of weaknesses for an outfielder. I think for now, though, we will give him a upgrade to contact right and contact left. We'll get that going first. I personally think the best course of action first is to try and sign the guy. The first person to sign should be the guy who's most interested. They suggest the bonus should be 228, but that only moves his motivation to signing to 65%. So this might not work. Never mind! We got one! Jose Fuentes. Welcome aboard. Now that that's out the way, who else? Looks like Kirk Driver. Let's see how much he's willing to sign for, though. Not high enough yet. I don't want to burn through too much, although I think we should be okay. Dennis Eckert's only asking for 6. But I want to try and get the other guy signed first, so we'll leave it as it is right now. So far, already off to a great start. Jose Fuentes is ready to sign. And here we go. Trade deadline stuff is taking form. The Nationals traded Dylan Cruz and Ahmed Rosario for Framber Valdez. What the fuck? Why would you trade one of the pieces of your core? The guy you just drafted 2 years ago for a 31-year-old pitcher. Are they trying to pair him up with Josiah Gray? Do they think they can re-sign him this offseason? I don't know what the game plan is or what is the move. Like, it can't just be to get Ahmed Rosario off your contract. Like, he's only there for $2 million. You didn't even get like a prospect for this. You're just taking on the $18 million in salary for this year for what? They finally found their future at right field, I guess. As far as what to get out, what to trade for in return from him, it's pretty obvious. Starting pitching, a catcher. We will work on the right field, left field, and then I'll add second base just to be on the safe side. Definitely pitchers, because there is a possibility of if these pitchers that I've drafted don't sign with us, I need some form of compensation as a result. Other players that I'm going to consider adding, I think I'm going to add Ryan Rollinson. It would make sense to an extent to keep him, but he's 27. He doesn't really fit in the timeline of things with the team. And right now he's averaging under 2 for an ERA in AA. So it makes sense to kind of sell high on a guy like him. I don't know if we're going to get much for him, but it would make sense to try and just throw him on the trade block, see what we can see what happens, you know. Another AA pitcher who's been doing pretty well so far is Carl Kaufman, another guy averaging under a 2 for an ERA. I think it would make sense to just sell high on him as well, see what we can get. Although, to be fair, our minor league AA team is competing. It is kind of... So, it's going to be pretty weird to consider, but Kaufman and another minor league pitcher we'll add is Carl Kaufman. It is pretty weird to consider pushing 2 of our 5 starters on the trade block for AA when they are helping them to a record above 500. But the team is pretty mediocre. And I don't really want to lose these guys for practically nothing this offseason. We might be able to trade them after their contract expires, but we'll have to wait and see. I'll field if anyone is willing to offer anything for them, I'll field their considerations. But I'll leave them on the trade block for now, just as a precautionary measure. Maybe someone will offer something for them. However, I would like to sell high on Diego Castillo. He's been pretty good with the Isotopes, but the Isotopes currently are of a record under 500. They're probably not going to make the minor league playoffs for AAA. So I want to see what we can get out of him. I'm also going to throw Tyler Kinley onto the trade block. He is 67 overall and he is 34, but he might end up being on a better team. He could be one of those pitchers that just continues playing solid baseball. You know, he finds a way to improve his game and ends up having a good closing portion to his career. That could be the case if he gets that opportunity elsewhere, so we'll add him to the trade block. The next person we're going to add to the trade block will be Thairo Estrada. He's currently batting just over 250 at 266. He's got over 10 home runs, which is more than he had the previous year. He has just as many triples as he's had the last 3 years, more doubles than last year, and far more hits this year with fewer games played. He will reach 100 games at the rate things are going, and so I think it would be smart to just sell high on a guy like him. We practically got him next to nothing thanks to San Francisco letting him go. So why not just throw him on the trade block, see what we can get for him. There's always a possibility. He is considered our stopgap right now at second base though. So I will probably make sure if we do end up trading him, we get another second baseman in return that can be our next stopgap guy, because I don't want to ruin Adel Amador or any of our other second baseman prospects. Another guy that I'm just going to put on the trade block, it's going to be Jordan Beck. If I'm going to be honest, he's not really working out this season. He's batting just around the Mendoza line, 223, just a little above it. He only won triple this year, 6 home runs, 9 doubles. He's played 76 games. That's over 275 plate appearances. And he's barely getting enough hits to compute with that. He's barely collecting enough hits with this many plate appearances. We're going to put him on the trade block. We'll see what offers people have for him. And then and depending on what people offer, I'll decide there. Remember, Zach Veen is pretty much... He's working out so far on the AAA level. Once he gets, recovers from his injuries fully, he's probably just going to play at the major level at some point. And right now, we don't really have any right fielders that I want to get rid of, because Robert Galaz is a 19-year-old who's doing a really good job at AAA. And if he's 19, batting just 233, he could be even better down the road, which means honestly, Jordan Beck, he's just going to have to go. I mean, his teammate Robbie Martin is batting the same as him, but the thing about Robbie Martin is that I don't really have much for expectations for him. He's kind of just a stopgap as well. And once we can start getting in guys that are also right fielders that will improve upon him, then I'll be getting rid of him at some point as well. But Jordan Beck, I want to see what people might have for him. Try and help him get a new location, go to a new location, and breathe some fresh life into his career, because it's kind of stagnating at this point. We'll see what people have to offer, and if it's not something that I like, we'll just keep him for the rest of the year and see what happens. All right, here we go. Another chance to sign our draft picks. Dennis Eckert still is extremely high. We gave him a bonus of 8. That would just shoot all of our remaining allotment. Whatever we have left for a bonus, that would be dead. And I really don't want that to happen. Hoyt is a little more motivated now. I really just need this guy to just sign here, please. Hope this works. And there it is. Finally signs with our Rockies. Now we can add another prospect on to see if they're interested. Ramon de Villar, definitely want him to sign as quickly as possible. He's motivated, but he has a bonus demand of 1.3 million. So we'll push him up there. Eckert will go to second, and then we'll leave Kirk Driver in the third spot. We still got 10 days left, and we have about 5 draft picks left to sign within the next 10 days. I am hoping, though, we can sign the rest of these guys. It's just that you kind of look, there's... Honestly, if we don't sign Justin McGaffick, I'm not going to be upset about it. Kind of the same feeling with Anthony Espinoza. These were just, throw on the dart, throw something at the dartboard, see what sticks kind of picks. So I really just need these last 3 guys to just sign on the dotted line. So we'll finalize it for this too. Oh, great. De Villar has signed with us. There it is. The 4th overall selection signs with us. Whew, that's a relief. And that just leaves you. Like I said, I'll try to get these guys, maybe. But, worst case scenario is that they don't sign, it's whatever to me. So looking through the trade finder, I'm just trying to see if I can find a catcher with the arm strength and contact against righties. I would try and go for right-handed batting catchers, but they don't seem to have many right now in this pool of player searches that I'm looking for. So as a result, I kind of had to shoot down the board. And probably the Orioles are the Samuel Basallo guy. He's really just, he might be the one. And they only want a second baseman in return. But I do need a second baseman as a replacement for him, so that's kind of the issue that I have. Okay, so I think I found my solution. I'm going to trade Kyle Farmer to the Cubbies. We'll trade him to the Cubs for Nicky Lopez. This actually also takes off the $3 million that we're paying him for this season anyways. So it's not a bad dealing. So we'll do a 1-for-1 here. Now we can trade for that catcher. So with this, we'll do another 1-for-1 here. We will trade Tyro Estrada. Like I said, sell high on him. He's been playing good so far. Give him to a team that can use him in his services. They can use him as a platoon guy for second base. We'll ship him off to Baltimore. In return, we get one of their better prospects in Samuel Basallo. I actually am curious, before I make this trade, where is he ranked in their farm system? So apparently, Basallo is their number one prospect in their organization. I almost feel like this is highway robbery. So I was not expecting him to be this high up. As much as I would want to get this guy, it just doesn't feel right to me to signing this guy or trading for this guy. And Ryan Helsley has been traded from Boston to the Cardinals. They gave up a shit ton to get this man. What the hell? I finally found my catcher. Going to require Ryan McMahon, and in return they will be giving us Harry Ford. He's a top 10 prospect in their farm system, and acquire Harry Ford. So we have found, I have made my decision as far as who I'm going to trade with. It's going to be the Red Sox we are going to take on Yoshida's contract for the next 3 seasons. And they will receive Thairo Estrada as they are looking for a second baseman. And to just sweeten the deal, in terms of Thairo Estrada, he's only good enough to get you a 1-for-1 in terms of prospect acquisitions. So, in order to sweeten the deal to the Red Sox, we'll take on Masataka Yoshida's contract, and we'll get an additional prospect to go along with it. But we will have to trade one of our own, and I'm just going to trade away John Wimmer. The additional piece we are getting is David Sandlin. Sandlin, I don't think, is in their top 20 farm system, but Zanatello is. Zanatello is in the top 20 farm system for the Red Sox. And then we're getting Sandlin as well as a sort of addition for taking on Yoshida's contract for the next 3 seasons. With that being said, it should take care of things from here. Nicky Lopez will be Estrada's replacement. And now we can trade him off and get a couple of prospects in return. And it's done. Here we go. Another chance to sign some of these draft picks. Really, the one I'm just trying to sign at this point is Kirk Driver. I didn't want him, but the game made me get him. But we do have a catcher now that I'm interested in, so eases the pain of getting Kirk Driver. I will try and see what the other players in this draft class were supposed to be, though. And it's not getting any better. Never mind. Kirk Driver signed with us. We're good. Now we can just leave these two to basically fester, and we'll wait and see what exactly do they want before they sign with us. So I had to tweak the lineup a bit. We didn't have a third baseman at the major league level. So I promoted Owen Miller to the 40-man roster and then promoted him to the major league level. So that's taking care of that. But to replace him will be, for now, Adele Amador. He can at least play third base. He's a natural second baseman, but he can also play third base, so that's okay. Everything should be okay from here on out. Another change is, of course, I want to see what Masataka Yoshida can bring to the table. Who knows, maybe we can revive his career. You know, give him something, worth playing for these next 2 to 3 years. It's almost working with Javier Baez. He's turning his career around. Maybe we can do the same with Masataka Yoshida. And then, of course, since we got rid of Estrada, Nicky Lopez now will take over duties at second base. So we have our new replacements at the positions that we have. The players that we traded away, we have now filled in their positions. And with the budget, it's still fairly good. Just under $45 million available left for our budget this year. Our player salary will be $122 for 2025, and then next year will be $73, and 27 will be $75. After that, though, things should be a-okay from here. We'll just have to wait and see for those seasons. But with that being said, I'm pretty much satisfied with our draft, the signings, the guys that I really wanted, and additionally the trade deadline we have had. So I'm going to end today's episode from here. We'll just have to wait and see what else happens in the corresponding episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Until next time, I'll catch y'all later. Y'all be safe out there. Have a good day.